All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Friday, September 21, and we're back for the final installment of the week. And what a way for the week, the trade week at least, to come to a close. Big tumble today on the back, of course, of some epic China FUD. We're, of course, going to cover all the latest coming out of that. How much of this is just FUD and recycled? Well, you know the old meme. If you've been in the crypto space long enough, China banned Bitcoin again. This is quite literally a rehash of some old news, but at the same time seems to have rattled markets today. Ethereum melted down about 10%, Bitcoin down just a little under 10% today, giving back. Yeah, we're down like 6% right now on Bitcoin, currently at 41,900, despite the epic FUD. I think we're actually holding up pretty good. Jason's with me, of course, one of the lead analysts here. Alex isn't with us. Jason, I'm glad that you are, and I'm sure a lot of the audience is too, given what's going on in the markets. How are you doing?
Feeling vindicated. Looking at the charts, I mean, this is what I've been talking about, and all day yesterday I was talking about how a lot of these pushes to the upside should be looked at as either getting out or shorting opportunities, and boom, it's amazing how one 4-hour candle could just change the momentum of the entire market.
Indeed, getting the bounce we had from the week's earlier sell-off has now been slapped in the face. We'll see what comes next, guys.
It just makes everything look even weaker to me. So
Man, I agree, but at the same time, even with the FUD, really escalating here, I feel like this is the best we have. We have barely dipped below 40 amidst all this madness.
Patience,
Um,
young Padawan.
I almost wonder that maybe this is turning into a big fake out. Indeed, but Jason, of course, has his eye on the big retrace. And
Yep.
yeah, when we zoom out, guys, on those high time frames, it sure looks like there's plenty of room to retrace. I
I feel like
just
there's more news coming.
It certainly doesn't end. Who knows? Maybe time it's for real with this China FUD. But of course, we'll discuss all that and more in the next hour. We have a feature-packed 90 minutes in store for you guys. Everything from this intro, we're gonna get into the news. We're of course gonna hop into crypto bubbles, see how the alt market's looking today. Pretty bloody from what I can see. Of course, we're going to shout out the audience before we get into the main analysis. Jason will take us through his daily scan, give us his thoughts, his insights on what he thinks the market's trend is actually forming right now, and then we're going to get to the requests. And you have a special guest, Mr. Ether. He's not here right now. He might be along later in the show. He did have a that nice $50 giveaway to the best request of the week. So Mr. Ether might come through and announce that. Look forward to giving that away. All right, let's go ahead and get to the news, guys. I have quite a few news stories. Let's cover them right now. Let's get into it. This one comes from Today, titled "Another Day, Another Chinese FUD Story." Crypto Twitter chiming in on the Bitcoin drop. All right, so this is a couple of tweets here coming in on the story. Maybe I should open with another story to kind of catch people up. This is, of course, people chiming in on it. I'm going to bring up just another article first, actually, because this is getting pretty hard, and I want to get everybody up to speed on this. Alright, so here's one from Trust Nodes. We'll open with this one, titled "Bloomberg Publishes Fake News on Bitcoin as China Prints $100 billion." Yes, so this will help diffuse some of the panic today, guys. So I think it's...
You should have shared the first article that said that they banned it, because that came out not even it seemed like not even an hour after it.
Let's see here, 24th September, 11 C Central Time. Yeah, this came out not long after that. But yes, indeed. So Bloomberg runs with the story this morning. This very well might have what might have sparked it. PBOC, People's Bank of China, says all crypto-related transactions are illegal. So again, this is yet another China ban. We've seen this time and time again. China basically reiterates existing policy, and people take it as like some new
Catalyst.
Yep, some new thing, some new offensive by Chinese regulators. Not quite the case, but in this case, let's read on. Bloomberg, the anti-Bitcoin publisher of the pre-internet age, has sent out outright fake, quote-unquote, breaking news that sent Bitcoin's price down by $2,000 earlier today. As can be seen above, Bloomberg said, without linking to any source, quote, "The Chinese central bank says all crypto-related transactions are illegal." And that is false. What China's central bank said is just a reiteration of what they said in 2017, published on September 15th. Right, so that's the other thing I heard today. This is actually 9-day-old news. This was so China in Chinese obviously published. They're not even published. They reiterated existing policy from 17 on the 15th. That's like over a week ago. I guess English media finally stumbled across it, translated it, and thought of it as something new and remarkable to report on, but apparently it's not. It's old news, republished over a week ago. So really, this is probably more of a Western. This is kind of more of a FUD story that's going viral in the Western sphere. This is kind of why I almost feel like this is bullish. Like, we've taken the hit on the chin, we're forming a higher low. Despite all the epic FUD, this is the best they have to knock this rally down. I know Jason's still bearish, but I feel like, the more FUD you guys pump up, the more excited I am. I'm like that Vince McMahon gif, right? You know what I'm talking about, the Vince McMahon one? The meme? The one where he's getting more and more excited. Just make that meme with increasing FUD from this week, and I'm falling out of my chair like Vince McMahon in the final frame. Let's have a look. Virtual currency related. Yeah, all right, so this is the statement, which is, I'm not going to bore you guys with it. It basically reads, virtual currency related businesses, all trading, etc., is against the law. But this has been their position for 5 years. Nothing's changed except they say in China that they say people in China that aid overseas companies that provide crypto services to the Chinese may be investigated. That's basically what you'd expect, especially at this very moment that the People's Bank of China printed nearly $100 billion this week. 10 billion of it just today, and another 71 billion in the past 5 days. With plenty more to come on Saturday. All right, so indeed, maybe China is in fact patching a few holes in their financial system. We're going to cover the Evergrande update in just a moment. But indeed, China might be having their own little banking financial issue. Of course, with the way the government works over there, they have unilateral power over the bank, and so I think they can they can print all they want and patch these holes. But when banks print, average people will be seduced by the Bitcoin swan song.
Indeed.
And this is maybe what the Bank of China is doing by merely copy pasting policy they mentioned 5 years ago or whenever this. Yeah, about 5 years ago. So there.
It sounds like an excuse to me.
Sounds like a big excuse. Especially since the weakness was in the charts way before the China news.
It's so reactionary that it's silly. Like, yeah, that's from 7 days ago. So you're telling me that just finally it got translated into English, and then all the people saw it within that 4 hour that triggered it? Like, I don't know. It's just, it was gonna happen.
Yep, it was. Let's go ahead and get into this next piece here. Here's a few crypto Twitter people chiming in on this topic. Let's see here. Some experts from the Asian market warned that this document may not be new at all. Here is this head of marketing at Hashkey, former Bitcoin Magazine expert, says that certain markets have already reflected this portion of the FUD. Here's Molly saying PBOC's announcement to ban crypto got widespread news today, but it was announced on the 15th. Yes, so basically what we already know. Else here, published in detail, illegalized. This is what's expected. China banned Bitcoin for which time? Yes, somebody else making the China ban Bitcoin again. Things that China banned successfully, sarcastically. None of these has banned all these things. They still operate there. It's FUD, guys. I've been in this space long. But I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe it is much more serious. They did ban all the miners, but I mean, there's good news on the other side. There's been a whole silver lining to this. We had epic China mining FUD earlier this year. I think mining would be even more relevant given how much of it's centralized in China. But what did we do? We just turned over a new leaf, and we were having like a crypto or Bitcoin renaissance here in the West, like in America. Yes, we're having some regulatory clouds kind of hanging overhead, but for the most part, I feel like the West has stepped it up since the China exodus. There's good here, and I'm gonna couple of those examples. Okay, let me bring up the next one. Let's see here. So I'm gonna get to that. Let's get in. Yeah, how about this one? This one's still related because I still want to cover today's big FUD. And here's a piece from Cointelegraph titled "Sound Familiar?" September 17th, China Bitcoin ban ended up sparking a all-time high 3 months later. So the latest debacle over China's anti-crypto stance has a firm historical echo to it. Old hands are more than aware of. Yes, I guess maybe I'm one of the old hands that this article describes. Bitcoin dipped to 40K, but if we look back historically, back in 17, China said they were banning Bitcoin, and Bitcoin dropped as over 30% at the time. I wonder when this one, September. Yeah, it was just months ahead of the all-time high, December. So yeah, this was probably this same time of year in 2017. And Bitcoin made a full recovery just a few weeks and hit an all-time high in December of that year. As the saying goes, history doesn't repeat itself, but a short time. Decent. The deeper corrective camp.
Well, think about it. What if we only got like a 8%? What if we got a 30% correction from here?
That's true. You are factoring that in, and maybe that's in fact exactly what we're gonna get. I'm not denying.
You get that correction, then we get the bounce like I've been plotting forever.
Word.
I still think that we have all-time highs in our future, but I do think that we have more correction before that.
Yeah, in fact, that's maybe the
Like
main lesson.
these two scenarios can line up.
Oh, you're totally right, actually. Like, realistically, this could just be a taste of what's to come. The Bitcoin ban might, in fact, repeat what we saw in 17 and 30% drop then. So, in fact, there might be blood to come, but again, there's might be the prospect of all-time highs on the other side of it. So, patience, guys. Let's keep it going. Got another article here. Touch on this one. Just note, Evergrande is to default on foreign investors. Evergrande is to be taken over by the Chinese government, according to some unnamed sources. In a fairly new paper focused on covering the Asian market, claims Evergrande will be restructured into separate entities, effectively turning property developers into a state-owned enterprise. And those exposed to Evergrande's USD bonds and Evergrande shareholders are likely to be hardest hit by China's Evergrande deal. On Thursday, Evergrande had 2 interest payments to be made on their bonds, one for onshore, and one for offshore foreign investors. The onshore traded at 5.8%, paid over a $35 million dividend. The offshore 5-year US-denominated bond rate required an $83 million payment that was not paid. Okay, so basically they're already defaulting on foreign investors. I wonder, is this going to some bigger drama? The Evergrande story just keeps developing. Can't spend too much time on news today, but you get the idea. The Evergrande drama, they might be patching some holes, but foreign investors may not be made whole. Jeez, happen when you're holding Bitcoin private wallet. But there you have it. Evergrande potentially defaulting. Quick contagion. Central bank strong patch this. Here's another silver lining. U.S. Senator Pat Toomey sees big opportunity for the U.S. in this Chinese crypto ban. All right, so here's at least one senator on the right side of the crypto market, at least as far as I'm concerned. Earlier, of course, Bitcoin plunged on the back of this FUD that we've been talking about, but Senator Toomey in the U.S. says the U.S. can benefit a lot from another series of anti-crypto actions by the Chinese government. All in all, he says it's a big opportunity. Adding China's authoritarian crackdown on crypto, including Bitcoin, is a big opportunity for the U.S. It's a reminder of a huge structural advantage we have over China. Yeah, see, this is the kind of attitude to have, guys. This is part of a bigger chess move by East and West. Tough to say, but I still largely welcome this positive pace, some degree innovation away in China. Maybe do us a big solid, right? They're doing us a solid by chasing it away and bringing it to our shores. Hopefully, more politicos like Senator Pat Toomey can get on board with this idea. Bit of a silver lining. Here's Circle CEO. There are 2 models of reacting. Circle CEO, of course, the operator of the fastest growing stablecoin, USDC, lists 2 models for the U.S. reaction to the writing a message to the U.S. and Western policymakers on now to think about China's approach to crypto and blockchain. China opposes the Western system of values built on openness, transparency, privacy, free market competition, and so forth. This is part of a 5-tweet Twitter thread. I presume finish his thought for him. That is, America excels on these values and these virtues. So why not embrace it? Yes, talking about this plays in wider. I don't want big geo back and forth here. Hey, I'm looking for positives to matter. There we go. Let's or 2 on time. I still got a couple more minutes after. Let's have a look.
We're fine. It's Friday.
It is Friday, guys. Here's from the Block Crypto. Here's a piece titled "The World's Largest Ethereum Mining Pool." Chinese miners. The world's largest Ethereum mining pool says it'll stop providing services to miners based within mainland China. Let's see here. Sparkpool said in an announcement on Friday it will release more details about the suspension. At the same time, Sparkpool said its decision is in response to the latest regulatory decision announcement out of China. The news hours after, blah blah blah, guys, the FUD. So basically, here is a response from one of Ethereum's biggest mining pools, saying, listen, Chinese miners banning you. Maybe it's out of respect to to China, not wanting anything to do with them or to cross them, or maybe it's just a message that like what your government wants, then be it by people sparkle mining needs. Again, might have been fake news, but clearly, again, maybe this whole everything's scripted. Maybe everything's theater. Much of this stuff is already. This is much of what we already believe as traders, right? The news doesn't make the charts. You know, the charts usually lead the news, not the other way around. And so maybe all this is theater. And maybe there is a narrative here, kind of concocted to some degree. One of like, ooh, crypto bads, run away from China, escape to the West. You know. Maybe again, this might help be good for us. Might make the number go up. I don't mind the regulatory landscape getting kind of sorted out, and the government picks some winners. Hopefully they'll be one of the ones in my portfolio. All right, enough of this. That's that. Let's see. Coinbase CEO chiming in on Binance Smart Chain. Another reminder how not every token, not every project, not every business along for this world once the big regulatory shakeup happens. And here's some comments from Binance CEO. So he appeared, of course, Brian Armstrong, on the Pump podcast hosted by Pompliano, and he took a dig at Binance Smart Chain, a blockchain for running smart contracts that witnessed a huge uptick in popularity earlier this year. Armstrong says it seems like 50% or more of the governance tokens in this case are controlled by one company, Binance, and it's even in the name. Armstrong went on to say that such centralized blockchains are pretty dangerous, saying, I do not think it would be a bad thing if the majority of these activities started being created on blockchains that are more centralized. I think it's actually pretty dangerous. I hope we will get blockchains built that are decentralized but also scalable. All right, so indeed, you know, I mean, Coinbase hasn't exactly dipped their toes in launching a chain of their own or anything like that, right? You know, this might be smart business, guys. Like right now, a lot of projects, especially like in the NFT space right now, a lot of clamoring to like bring NFT or DeFi features to many NFT projects, but you know, a huge gamble on that, huge risk in the future because just like this next story is gonna explain. In fact, I can just probably hop right in. Like this next story explain. Regulators like this one here, Kentucky regulator ordering Celsius to stop offering crypto accounts. A lot of the stuff that DeFi offers, a lot of DeFi projects are effectively securities offering. When you're offering lending and savings and loans, you know, that falls under as a security. That's a heavily regulated financial type service and product. And quite frankly, a lot of these, I know that a lot of these DeFi protocols are decentralized and they have anonymous teams and all that, but nonetheless, it puts them in a very precarious position, especially in the future once we get that big regulatory clean sweep base. In this case, here's an example: Celsius, which is not a small fry here. Crypto lending company Celsius has been ordered to stop offering interest-bearing accounts in the U.S. state of Kentucky. State's securities regulator issued an emergency cease and desist notice on September 24th, becoming the fourth state regulator to take action against Celsius in recent days. Regulators in New Jersey and Texas moved against the crypto firm on September 17th, with New Jersey similarly filing a cease and desist order. Alabama Securities Commission did something a day earlier. The news comes against amid a campaign against CERN projects to clamp down against securities on crypto lending platforms. 5 state regulators have moved to take similar action against BlockFi, of course, one of Celsius' main rivals, in its order concerning Celsius accounts, which promise high interest rates but without protections of regulated bank accounts. Kentucky Department of Financial Institutions said the product exposes unprecedented risks. Blah 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 blah. All right, you get the point. I'm just demonstrated here. The DeFi crack kind of continues. And yes, not all these projects are long for this. Binance as well. We've seen happening to Binance. Maybe it's wise to kind of not stick your neck out too far. Maybe what Coinbase did, which is shut up and sit down. Right? They wanted to drop their lend product recently. we just covered that the other day, right? They canceled plans.
They dropped that, yeah.
Yeah, they dropped the crypto lend or whatever it was called, the lend product. First they threw a big fit. Oh my God, you guys totally weren't level with us. We put all this work into launching this. Now you block us at the end. And a couple days later, what did they do? They quietly bit their tongue and got up and sat down, like I said. Maybe Coinbase and Brian Armstrong knows something here. He is, of course, sounding off, almost taking a swipe directly at Binance. Maybe, like I said, he knows something. Don't. Binance doesn't. Better to lay low. Let's have a look. Yes, this is a huge development, guys. Twitter launches Bitcoin tipping feature on iOS with Android coming next. Twitter has been one of our best allies, and this is really big. Twitter just rolled out a new feature that allows users to send payments in Bitcoin. Social media giant says the new tipping option enables Twitter users to send funds to virtually anyone on the platform. The feature is powered by Strike, an app that processes Bitcoin transactions via the Lightning Network, enabling free and instant payments wide. People in El Salvador and the U.S., except those in Hawaii and New York.
Yeah.
What's up?
Apparently you're cutting in and out.
A lot? That's weird.
Yeah, everyone's saying that you're cutting in and out and it's hard to hear you.
Well, that's not good, guys. Let me see what's going on. Alright, Jack, you're cutting in and out. It's hard to hear you. Horrible. Alright, hopefully that wasn't for the entire show so far, guys. Hopefully just recently. I don't know, my audio looks good. Alright, let's keep it rolling, guys. But yeah, so the new Twitter tipping, Bitcoin tipping powered by Lightning Network and the guys over at Stripe. Users can add their Bitcoin addresses to their profile to enable tips. And besides crypto, tips also support several other payment platforms. Users can link the following: Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, a few others. I also saw somebody posted Ethereum. Ethereum is one of the new options coming out as well. Very, very, very cool. Bitcoin and Ethereum tipping coming to Twitter. This is major, and this is also a big milestone for Lightning Network, right? I also seen that the amount of Bitcoin locked up on Lightning Network right now is also hit new highs. So it's this is brilliant, guys. This is again part of like this bigger shift. Crypto running away from centralization in China, getting chased out by the Chinese regulators, and here it is, finding a safe haven. Where better than Twitter, right? Good, I think the government is, I think Twitter and the government are, on the same page, and so I think, good, this is good. These are all excellent developments. What else do I have for news, guys, before I go ahead and get to the next segment? Hopefully the audio is better right now. Use my Lightning channel, says CryptoBull21. I didn't know you run a Lightning channel. I remember I started Lightning Node probably over a year ago. I haven't, relaunched it, and I think I'm going to have to do that again. Lightning, indeed, pretty cool. But I still have some money locked up on Lightning Network. Alright, what else do I have to mention here? Alright, here's another dose of bullishness to buck to possibly the FUD in the space right now. On-chain data shows Bitcoin supply will be not able to meet demand, says the Glassnode's co-founder and chief technical officer of the crypto analytics firm Glassnode, says on-chain data shows Bitcoin is headed straight for a major supply crunch. The firm's latest data shows that nearly 2 million Bitcoin has shifted from short-term to long-term holders since April of this year. This, of course, comes from Raphael Schultz-Kraft, Glassnode CEO, says the data clearly shows, quote, supply will not be able to match demand. Glassnode defines a long-term holder as any Bitcoin user who held onto their Bitcoin for at least 155 days. And there's another analyst here who says he's diving into the new data on the state of Bitcoin supply and says Bitcoin supply crunch ratio, which is a metric tracking the amount of Bitcoin held by strong hands versus weak hands, is showing a serious bullish divergence. He also notes the current level of on-chain activity similar to what happened in June, July, right before the largest digital asset by market cap saw an August surge. All right, so I've been hearing this for a while, guys. People pointing to the on-chain metrics in the last few weeks in particular, pointing to kind of bullish on-chain data. In fact, Justin was in here just last week, and while he fully kind of concurred with the bearishness, the bearish-ish take, I don't even want to call you guys to take bearish. Jason just thinks there's a correction due before the big the big surge and move forward can occur. Justin came through a couple weeks ago. That was his takeaway as well. He completely concurred with you guys, but he also cited on-chain data that looked hella bullish to him, and I totally get that. And this is a supply game and a supply and demand game, and of course, so many Bitcoin bulls and hodlers such as myself, we just keep stacking and stacking, and a lot of that
pay off.
a lot of that Bitcoin never makes its way back to the order books. It's really a black hole, guys. That's the beauty of Bitcoin. Let me have a look here. Let's see here. Any other news I got to cover? I don't think so. I think we basically covered everything for today except Morgan Stanley. Did you hear about this? Morgan Stanley executive claims Bitcoin continues to rise from the dead, says it's like the cartoon character Kenny in South Park.
Weird.
You
bastards!
That's a really weird one to liken Bitcoin to. Like you're an executive.
I don't get it.
Yeah, you're an executive of Morgan Stanley with like an Ivy League education, and the analogies you're drawing are based on South Park characters.
Trying to be hip.
Yeah, I guess maybe this is what the kids are about nowadays. Let's see here. I don't have much more to add. I guess we've covered most of the news. Just double check in. Is there anything I missed today? No, this is good. This is just a tweet with that. And indeed, China overseeing accounts over at Evergrande and bond payments not come in yet. Covered this already. Good. That's the news. News is in the bag. Let's go hop in to the bubbles. What's going on in the alt space today? Well, it's plenty red. Some big ass losers. Credit coin CTC. Well, this must have had a pump and a dump because I haven't even seen this coin trend on here in a while. But here it is, down nearly 30%. Huobi token down almost 25%. Is this because of the China FUD as well? Maybe Huobi token, China FUD are related. And let's see here, a couple of decent gainers here. Ren is up 20%. I think I saw the Willy Woo. The Woo token is up a few points today. There are a few others as well. What else? Cello is up a few points, but otherwise it's a pretty bloody day. Everything's down around single to double digits. Yeah, a lot of 7, 9, 10% losers across the alt space today. Another bloody day to buy or get out and pray to God you get out fast enough. That is the question. Yeah, Cody's up 10%. Seller Network is up also almost 10%. Just a couple that aren't on here. Tezos is up also almost 5%. And Kava Labs is up also about 5% today. All right, there's a look at bubbles. Bloody day. GTFO, I guess. Let's go look into another piece, shall we? We're going to get to the shutting out the audience. What is my dear audience up to today? Let's go take a look. All right, expanding out the chat. And how's everybody doing this Friday afternoon? Big shout outs to Daniel first in the YouTube chat this afternoon. We got Wayne A with us as well over on YouTube. Thank you guys for all your help. I cleared 8K on my Litecoin and Ethereum shorts today. Much love. Well, much love to you, Wayne. I'm so glad we could help guide you in the right direction. Sounds like your trading decision paid off. Beautiful. That's enough bread for a man to live on for a couple of weeks.
Gotta keep the faith.
Profit Bear, what's up? How low can we go on Bitcoin? I don't think you even want to hear how low our analysts can think Bitcoin can go. I'm just surprised, the fact that when I talk to some people in the space and, they're willing to acknowledge that, yeah, maybe a bit of a correction here, but when you're like, yo, we might go see 20s, man. Hell, we could even see high teens for a little bit. Could be a real meltdown, bro. They lose it, man. Some people really get angry if you propose 20s or teens. I've
noticed that as well. I'm like, why does this make you angry? Like, as a trader, you need to be envisioning every possible scenario anyways.
Yeah, well, they think...
If it's making you mad, then it's probably directly interfering with your bias. And if you have bias, you're likely to get screwed.
Remember, Michael Saylor just bought last week, so...
Yeah, it can't go down if a rich guy bought.
Right. Let's have a look here. Ron Legato's with us. Big shout outs to Ron Legato. Alex1233 on DLive. B Free 7. Salut, Alex and all. Thank you. Salut to Be Free 7. Alex, of course, isn't here, but thank you, thank you. Franklin MC, good morning. Good morning to Franklin MC. Alex All 33, Promethean greetings. Okay. Shout outs to Crypto Jenny. Hey, hey, everybody. Shout outs to Crypto Jenny. Wow, like Promethe. Okay. Marco going down, down, down. Not buying yet. All right, Marco, smart man. Wait to back up that truck until the panic really sets in. ETH1 on DLive. Big shout outs to you. Crypto Rich over on DLive. Okay. Jack sounds like his plane is going down. I think I fixed my mic at some point, guys. Thank you, thank you. I see a request for Ethereum Classic. We'll look at that in a little bit. Tog TV, shoutouts to you on YouTube. Franklin MC, Arizona Forensic. Alright, I'm not even sure I should be saying those words on YouTube. Probably get me banned. But indeed, this is going to be another thing to rattle the cage, or potentially another nothing burger. I just don't know. Let's take a look here. And my, oh, okay, guys, give me 1 second. How did this happen? Has this been broken the whole time?
Is it because I just went live?
No, no, no. Oh, yes, maybe that's what it is. That's all good, dude. Thank you for going live. Perfect. No problem at all. Tripped me out there for a second, but we're good. Let's keep going. Let's shout out a few more people this Friday afternoon. Wayne reminds everybody, smash those likes. Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations to the shorties. Had the best trading day in 4 months, indeed. Hit that like button. One in the onion bag. Never heard of that one. Wayne, appreciate it, indeed. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Poly B. Hey, people. Big shout outs to Poly B. B-Flow. Didn't they print 10 billion? They printed yuan, right? $10 billion with the yuan. Yeah, something like that. I imagine when your biggest domestic property developer goes belly up, that's going to take a mighty big band-aid to patch. Probably 10 billion or a whole lot more. But hey. Might not turn into a contagion because, you know, the bank and everything there is very much, well, in authoritarian harmony, and that we can count on the bank to always step up and fix things, right? That's the idea, at least. Maybe that's why markets haven't completely lost their minds yet. Let's have a look. Yes. 10 billion worth of yuan. Let's see here. Regardless if it's only FUD being discovered late, I still think it's bearish and the trend continues. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. These are just the stories people are coming up with to pour the fuel on the fire. The weakness is there and people want to see it. They want to chop this tree down. These are the stories that come out. Now, not until the crow has crowed. Yes. Yes, guys. Crypto 20, Bull 21. I've been waiting to see what FUD was going to help us correct. Yeah, I know, right? You always know the weakness is there. You got to wonder what's going to come, what straw is going to come along to break the camel's back. China FUD, classic. Like whoever writes the FUD only has a few like tropes in their in their toolbox to work with, right? Like copy and paste old stories to kind of generate the same old effects. So China FUD it is. Any words still waiting to go all in on DERO at a low price. Good luck on your DERO. Kavano Trades. Hey peeps, shout out to Kavano Trades. They have 30 days until they default, so there'll be another push still. Okay, cool. Aaron Webb, China's just banning Bitcoin to get a better price. I can't believe for 1 second China's banning anything and getting left behind in the digital currency world. Well, you know, maybe. I mean, I understand people feel this way sometimes, but that might just not be the case, right? Like maybe they had their use for Bitcoin and they got rid of it, right? They used it for some geopolitical purposes to let the Bitcoin kind of rise up and build itself out across the world. And when the time is right, they pull the plug on it. End of the day, you know, China's a very, very powerful country, and you know they have their government system in order in such a way that I really don't know if Bitcoin really is something that they need or that they really fear. You know, their bank and their military, their entire apparatus is powerful enough to supersede anything maybe crypto can do. That's just my take on it. I just don't know if they're really buying it, if they're really afraid. They have, I think, much bigger tools at their disposal. Let's see here. About trades, China's banning Bitcoin is just another Tuesday. It certainly is. Did you see Cohen's title of his last video? Had me cracking up. What we need is to be making the miners somewhere else other than China. Yes, that's the other thing. But Jonah, you know what? The other thing, this is another bit of FUD people usually inject into crypto conversations. You know, we already had the mining centralized in China, and now obviously a lot of the hardware is centralized in China. But really, that is like a geopolitical risk on every level, right? Everything comes from China, not just their crypto hardware, you know, but like pretty much everything, right? All hardware from mass manufacturing on some level comes from China at some point. So we have huge dependencies and huge risks along those lines, the least of which is maybe mining hardware. But I agree with you. I agree with you. Maybe in the next few years, maybe the next decade or more to come, you know, the West as China, you know, there's clearly some kind of conflict growing between the East and the West, and you know, maybe one of the realizations for Western powers will be that we do have to bring some production back to the West to guarantee our independence and security, right? So I feel you. I feel you there. Jane Reinholdt on YouTube. How can they ban it? It's decentralized. Well, they can ban on and off ramps, guys. It's not hard to make our life very difficult to lead and really drive it back deep underground where, you know, you're gonna really handicap the whole space. You're not gonna kill it, but you know, if Robinhood can't host it, if Coinbase can't be offered to you, if you know, if you really got to go through the dark web every time to get your hands on it or do anything with it, it's going to kill a lot of opportunity. So they can't ban it, but they can make life difficult. Jonah loved the show. They banned everything except else. Facebook. I know they banned all these things, and yet they're still going. Strong dollar right now. Yeah, we'll check in on the dollar in just a minute, guys. I'm almost done the intro. Thanks for bearing with me with this extended intro. China says to hodl. All right. Fix my mic at some point using my Lightning channel right on. Let's see here. Everybody, it's been a while. Hope everyone's doing right. Well, says Crypto Yorick. Shoutouts to you. Electric is with us as well. Happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday to you, Mr. Electric. Ren doing its own thing today. Young Johnny on Twitch. Any status on Justin? Where is he at? Justin's moving. He's Justin has made a bit of a return to CC. You guys might have seen him in the chat and in the server in the last week or so. He is he's kind of getting moved. He's finishing up his new setup. He is planning to make a return, so stand by. Justin will be making appearances on the show here. There's a lot more hopium out on the crypto YouTube today. Indeed, I bet that's kind of their lifeblood. They have an interest in keeping their audience hopeful. David Rice, you know, that's the difference between us and, like, you know, Moon Boys and average crypto YouTubers, right? We're traders. We can afford to take a bearish take. If you're like a crypto YouTuber who's just a Moon Boy, you know, it's tough to break it to your audience that the floor is about to drop. I told you to buy at all the wrong times.
It certainly doesn't make for that entertaining of a show, but it's why we do it each day, just to be like, okay, like, this looks weak, this looks weak. I know it gets old, but then on days like this, you're like, okay, I get it. Like, it takes patience, man.
Word. All right. Last couple comments, and we're getting into it. I'm at the bottom of the list today, guys. Cavano trades, buy high, sell low. Yes, it's that simple. If only it was. The bull market has left the building, says PDD63. Might have very well have. Let's see here. He's resting for the next run-up. You talking about the bull? Cavano trades, $10 billion Band-Aid. Still waiting for the $10 million ICU support for the Chinese credit bubble crash. China's banning crypto, says Adams, so Chinese citizens don't store their wealth in digital property. At a time, it seems obvious that their physical property are actually in a bubble. Yeah, that's also highly apparent and might be what's, you know, moving today, or, you know, kind of behind today's move. And the whole control authoritarianism, indeed, you know, that's what they're into, right? Chinese government wants as much control over citizens as possible. The whole economy is cracking. We give them much more control over their population. This sucks. It certainly does. And how's this for FUD? What if China is Satoshi and it's all an evil plan to screw us all over? Jonah, love the show. That's a pretty dark take. I think some of this might actually be true. I don't think China is Satoshi per se, but I think Bitcoin presented an opportunity to maybe undermine the West, you know, on some financial level, and that's maybe why there was support for it for a number of years. So yeah, maybe there's something to this evil plan concept here. But that's it for the comments today. There you have it. Is there something else I need to add? No, I think that's it. China's best chances, Aaron, is to get rid of USD as a global currency. Yeah, maybe, who knows? Like, we could be codependent at this point, right? China might have an interest in, not necessarily ruining us or destroying us. Maybe they want to have a more codependent relationship, right? But you're right, guys. This is indeed troubling times, and what better way? What better way to? Oh yes, what I was going to say is that while this is the case, that indeed there is this total control thing over there, there's also total corruption, right? Party insiders are still going to be corrupt. They're still going to want to have ways to get their wealth out of the country. They're still going to have ways to want to accumulate wealth, and sad to say, Bitcoin might be a way of facilitating that sort of corruption, getting their money out of the country. It's possible that they might talk big, but insiders might very well still want to keep Bitcoin functioning enough in the country to serve their corrupt purposes, right? So I like to think that there's a lot of talk and bluster, but at the end of the day, everybody, even the corrupt politicos, benefit. All right, guys, I'm sorry the intro took so long, but we're going to get into the next segment. Here comes the main scene right now. All right, hopping into Jason's screen as we speak. All right, we have the what chart are you looking at? BTC USDT. All right, cool, on Bybit. All right, I'm going to hop into the live chat, start extracting everybody's requests. You know what to do. Drop your requests below, and we'll get to it in a little bit. In the meantime, Jason, take us through a few charts.
All right. Well, here we are after yesterday. A lot of talk yesterday of all of these pushes to the upside, looking at them for shorting opportunities, and looks like that's definitely what we got here. Currently getting bought back up to the 200 EMA. Nothing to do intraday. I think that this makes things look even weaker. It was a point in the market that I compared to right over here. That kind of, you get exhausted, then you get two little ups, but I mean they look differently compared to the timing, but you get the sell-off both ways. So I really do expect this for continued downside. I mean, I think 35 is expected, to be honest with you. I'm still gonna hold on to that 26 as if we can hit it in a wick sometime, but things are looking super weak. Interestingly enough, I woke up right at the time when we had crested over 45 here, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, maybe I should take a little bit of profit on my hedge before it gets closed. But what I did was I stepped over to the dollar here, and I saw this candle right here, this big whack-a-noodle candle to the upside that got a new high. And when I went to the 4-hour, every time I've ever seen this pattern go like this, it always gets continuation. So at that moment, I was pretty excited to see what happened with Bitcoin, and in proper fashion, as soon as Bitcoin just started to dump, man. And then we got this big old 4-hour candle down. I am expecting more downside here. I think you'll get just a very little bounce and then likely another leg down. Not sure how quick that will happen. Maybe it gets stretched out, but with how quickly we sold off here, I really feel like volatility is going to be expanding, and we're likely to get some more pressure to the downside here, hopefully closing under 40 for the first time. That would be very nice for my positions. But other than that, the rest of the markets look pretty much the same. It's not going to be really too much to go through. Bitcoin dominance is selling off once again, which can be expected. Got a nice wick up and then getting sold directly into. This looks very weak for Bitcoin dominance. I think that we begin to fall again, and I think that this might be one that takes everything with it. It's like one of those ones where that domino effect gets started, and then everything just starts to get pulled down with it. Going to Ethereum, almost the exact same chart, which I would actually argue that Ethereum has a little bit lower to come just in general to meet up with its 200. But looking very, very weak. gonna have to wait. There's nothing actionable as of now, but a couple more days. I don't trade the weekends myself, but over the weekend you might get a good signal. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some price action to the upside, possibly over the weekend, or we just dump. That's just, we're not gonna really know that. But I would wait to get the continuation because we've sold off so fast on the daily that even Minx is still giving that take profit short signal when we had a lot of volatility to the downside. So just moving a little too fast for us. DeFi perp looking almost identical. Nothing to really do here. Still expecting most of these charts, if it plays out as bearishly as I think it will come down to hit one of these levels at some point. That could line up anywhere in here. This would be my buy zone, right in that 43 to 36 zone. That's what I'd be looking for. Dragon Purple, and again, all of these look pretty much the same. You can just follow the angles. I think that we're still in for quite a bit of downside. Until I see the markets really convince me otherwise, I'm gonna stay bearish, guys. Even after yesterday, if I was bearish yesterday after the bullish impulse to the upside, I'm definitely bearish now. Exchange perp looking the exact same. All these charts looking exactly the same. You actually did get a lower low on an exchange perp, which is good to see. Mid perp looking a lot like Bitcoin there. Ship perp, same thing. Yesterday was saying how gold wasn't looking very strong. We got sold right back into, so gold's still looking pretty weak. Nothing to do with it for right now. Silver, exact same case. It's weird, man. Once those trends break, it's kind of a... It's not rocket science. I mean, once trends break, usually the structure of the price action is going to change. It does appear that the traditionals aren't getting as hammered as Bitcoin, and people are going to probably say that's because of the China FUD or whatever. But the fact that they came up here, closed their gaps, I still think that this looks weak. I think it's a swing failure on all three of them. The Dow Jones here, the QQQ, come up, close its gap, trade down, but then back up. SPY, same thing, down a little bit, come back up. Did get over its 13 EMA, but there's nothing to do with this. I think that everything is still looking relatively weak. The Dixie, of course, you got that pump to the upside. I like it on the 4-hour because it's giving you that solid 4-hour signal. You are under resistance, but I do think that this wick to the upside is a little bit of evidence that we might get that push. But you got to be patient with it for now. I think that we do come up and test this broadening wedge that I was talking about. So somewhere up in here, I think that we do crest over $94, which would line up nicely with the... Whoop. I think that would line up nicely with this past resistance. And then, honestly, if we break that, it's going to be pretty telling on the weekly here, because that's going to be a solid continuation. We did get a well, actually, this week looks like it's going to be a continuation on the Dixie. You'd like this to close above there, of course, but as of now, the dollar is looking very bullish. And we're seeing evidence of that in Bitcoin and the other crypto markets, because these do not look bullish. So for me, it's a great day just to be in the positions that I'm in, completely head short from 46, and then in just one Solana position that yesterday, we'll take a look at that. I gave it the chance just because it closed so damn close to, oh, sorry. Need more data. I gave it the chance just because it closed so much closer to the 13. Why can't I find a good contract? Oh, I'm on the weekly. That's what, you dumbass. Okay. So we did take this short right here. We're basically at break even now. It did close right at the 13 EMA, but with the bearishness that I was sensing in the market, I'm like, I'm going to give this another day. So now that we're about break even, we're just going to give it more time. Just a nice baseline bounce here. I do think that we are in for more downside, so I hung on to this instead of taking the loss. Now we're in a better position. We are coming back, hopefully reclaiming this as resistance. We're just gonna have to see by the end of the day, and then continuing to break down for that position. I do think that it's we're still in the right position there, but that's the only position that I'm in besides the Bitcoin head short, and that's based off the weekly that I was talking about. That I do think that we get that break back down to the 26. I think it sells off very similarly to that fractal that I put out. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Second. This is the daily projection that I had for Bitcoin coming, and this is when we were still at that 46 range. We bounced around right in there. I think you can see on the BitMEX chart, I did chart that out back in July. It's very crude, of course, but this is the chart that I charted out for back in July. When we started to get that pump up, I do think that we're going to get right to here, get shut down like we have already. We are beginning to see that failure. I think that this is still game on to come back down here and test that 26 range like I've been saying. And if we look at that weekly fractal, we are beginning to basically mimic that exact same pattern. So I'm feeling pretty vindicated right now. I mean, it's not over till the fat lady sings, of course, until I'm hitting actual take profits and stuff. But I think it's, I mean, for as much as a game plan as we can have, I really think that it looks like it's pretty close. So still looking pretty bearish on Bitcoin, and I'm not going to change it until it makes me change my opinion. Other than that, I think that
Is that it for your skid?
Yeah. There's not really much more to talk about. That's exactly what I was saying, Aaron Webb. You wouldn't say the dollar's bullish if we close the weekly with an indecisive candle. I'm saying that if we get that weekly to push above that other close instead of under resistance, that to me would be pretty bullish. If it did close the way it is, then yeah, that could be described as some weakness.
All right, well, let's get into the requests. I'm going to put them up on the screen now. Guys, I'm having the same issue. I thought I had it resolved from yesterday. Still kicking my ass. This is super annoying. But indeed, OBS is... yeah, the screen is going gray when I unfocus from it. So when I go to work with my photo editor, which has the requests on it, Jason's chart disappears. Guys, so I have to work around this for today. But in the meantime, first request of the day, it comes from Wayne on YouTube. Can you look at Ethereum Classic, please?
Ethereum, the real Ethereum. I mean, this looks like shit, man. You're getting another, well, you'll have to wait till the close, but you're getting another close under your 200 EMA, which has been past support. I think that you're getting a break of trend here. Pretty easy break of trend right there. I think that this is gonna go down, man, like everything else. This looks super weak. I think that you could take this all the way down to $17, to be honest with you. It'll probably follow some, to be honest with you. But this looks super weak. Can't quite take any signals off of it right now, but we just need a couple more days for our oscillators to reset. Alex would probably take this as a continuation short in consideration of time transformation. That's what he uses for his initiator. We are getting a crossover here on time transformation, which would be a continuation short to the downside. And you wouldn't be silly for taking that, in my opinion. But that's just not the system that I run. Time transformation can be a little too sensitive for what I do. But Ethereum Classic looks like shit.
All right. Let's go ahead and get in next request. Second, hop over here. This one comes from Chico in the YouTube guy wants to look at LYXE LYXE. Jason's screen. Sorry, Jason's keeps disappearing, but God, I hope this is a error that I have to fix.
With LYXE, I do like how you did. This is a solid continuation signal. You did get a close back up above that resistance. It was not a new high, but you wouldn't be silly for taking this. It looks like you're getting a baseline bounce. If you snagged it right here, it wouldn't be silly to be in this position. It's not one that I want to take in the current market conditions. It looks like you got super close to getting wicked out, but not quite. You would still be in this position, but underwater. But I would be careful in it. If you close below the baseline, you should get out of it. But this might not play out. You are about to get this would, if this crosses over today, this would be an early exit signal for Alex's system on the daily. So that would be tell you to get out of this a little earlier, maybe save you some headache on not getting stopped out. But with the way the rest of the market's looking, this is beginning to look like a swing failure. You just couldn't get above that level, and now you're getting sold into pretty hard, and looks like the rest of the market is as well. So I think you should be careful in this position. Any kind of buying to the upside, you might take as a moment to get out of your position with a little less loss, right? I don't think it's a good idea to be in this right now. But anything can happen. It does look better than other charts, and it does have a valid signal on the table that you would still be in.
All right, well, there's your look at LYXE. Shout out to Chico for that one. I am still trying to. Very unusual issue with my Discord here. In the meantime, let's go look at the next request. We have AVAX, also for Chico. Let's go look at Avalanche.
This looks like the exact same signal. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there are support levels here. Like in the last one, the exact same support levels that are being obeyed here. The signal was yesterday. Looks like, you would still be in this and getting a little baseline bounce. These do look bullish, I will be honest with you, but with the way the rest of the market is, I just don't know if they're going to play out. But there's solid signals in there that if you were in it, I wouldn't blame you. I would just make sure that you're taking profit, because you could just get a wick up there, tag it, and then get the sell off. That happens so many times. So if you don't get a good continuation, like within a couple of candles on a close above this 76 level, I think that you can take that as the hint that the buyers are getting a little exhausted, and you're likely to get some a volatile candle to the downside. Usually this type of pattern, when it breaks very quickly, almost like pretty close to the 4 hour that we got here. Like when it breaks, it stair steps up, keeps making higher high, and then just gives it all back instantly. So it's something to be aware of when looking at charts like this. So make sure that you do have take profits on the books when you're taking positions like this, because then if you're not putting take profits on the books, then you're just investing and probably buying a top at that moment.
Right on. All right. Sage advice as always. There's a look at AVAX for Chico. Bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna go into my Discord settings. Let me take a look here. I need to see if I can make a little adjustment here that's gonna make it live.
If I'm not mistaken, I think DERO looked the exact same as these. Yes,
Hold up 1 second.
it does.
I gotta restart my Discord. Yeah, let's try it. I'll be right back. Alright. I am back.
The signal is the exact same.
Let me hop back into the stream with you. And bear with me, guys, 1 second. I'm just trying to troubleshoot this on the fly. I want to see if this could possibly fix this incredibly annoying issue I've been having for the last 2 days on the stream. Let's see what happens on here. 1 second, yet. Bear with me. Seems like, oh, of course. All right, Jason, allow me 1 more moment to put your screen back on. All right, go ahead. Tell us about DERO.
Well, I was just gonna say the DERO chart looks very similar to the others. You don't like data-wise. There's no other. See, DERO just ran, man. Like, there's no historical data that really shows me if there were any other like past moments. But this has already ran so much. Like, it is kind of crazy to think that, like, okay, this won't be the continuation that keeps going. But with the way, like I said, the way the rest of the markets work, and if you look at that buy, cry, die, higher high, that's usually the spring that you get. I mean, that's very simplistic, but I always look at it as the fourth break of the higher high is usually the one that turns around. And you did wick up into this, and you're becoming a swing failure in the sense of no higher high. So that's the first time that has happened. In terms of the continuation signal on this system, it does look good. But if you were using time transformation as an early exit, you're likely to get that early exit either today or tomorrow. That would be the same for all the AVAX and the LYXE charts. So it's another thing just to be paying attention to. Don't get too biased to that. It's had a great run. It wouldn't be ridiculous if you saw retracements down to like the $6 level, or even just down to its 200 EMA, which at some point will get hit. I mean, it's coming down to $9 right now, but over time it could curl back up. But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't fault you for being in the position. Again, make sure you have TPs on the books, because if you do get that play to the upside, there's a good possibility after all of this upside that you rip to the downside.
All right. Well, there was a look at DERO. I'm not sure who that request was for, but Jason, nonetheless.
Well, I wanted to bring up DERO because Mr. ETH talked about that chart, that he liked it, as well as it looked. If you look at DERO and AVAX, well, let's do 3. Let's just see if we can put all 3 of them together. Oh, it'll only let me do 2. But there's that, and then DERO over here, and do AVAX, USDT. If you're looking at these charts, they look pretty damn similar, as well as that LYXE. Is it LYXE? Yeah. So, I mean, being in these trades, I think that you could pick the strongest one that you liked, but these are the same trade in my opinion. So take that with what you will. I don't think you should be looking to be in all of these. If you're trying for that continuation to the upside, then I think honestly looking at it, what was the last? Jeez. I would say AVAX is the strongest. It's actually getting pulled back above its other resistance levels, and it hit a higher high on it. So if you're going to be in any of those to try to take that movement to the upside, I would say AVAX would be the best as of today. The strongest of the signals. But again, I think that we are more likely to get a sell-off than anything. Let the market prove me wrong.
All right. Well, there is your look at, well, what was that? AVAX and a few others. Were we looking at XTZ at this time?
Nope. That was AVAX, LYXE, and DERO. They all look
Understood.
exactly the same.
Well, XTZ is next. Comes from, let's have a look here. A gentleman by the name of Pathos J. Guys, I'd like to short XTZ. Could you take a look at it?
Interestingly enough, this is a full-blown long signal for me today. It is right under resistance, but it might have enough to get you up to your first TP. I'm going into the weekend. I don't know if this is something. It's interesting to see that this is completely kind of diverging from what the rest of the market. XTZ just doesn't give a shit. But you kind of got to take what your system gives you. Where's Quadriga at? Yeah. So from here, I mean, it looks like you could take it up to, and I actually don't dislike that. By the end of the day, this might come down a little bit. So you'll have to wait till the end of the day. If this does come down a little bit, still giving me WADA, rising explosion level, everything's turning up, time transformations crossing zero, as well as minks, everything that you want to see. And then I like when the first take profit is still under resistance, because there's a good possibility you get a wick up into that, hit your first take profit, and then it decides to turn around. But this is a full-blown signal on the daily. So this will be interesting. This will go on the list for today. This might be something I have to counter trade the market on. This looks very strong. Interesting weekly here. Yeah, if we close down on this, I think that's actually pretty bearish. But if you get the continuation to the upside, the daily certainly looks pretty primed. So I'm going to have this on my list. This might be something I take today. I might have to counter trade the rest of the market on XTZ. I like it.
Well, there is your look at XTZ. Quick shout out to CryptoBull. He asked, could it be on Jason's side? Nope, definitely not a Jason issue. I don't know if this is an update. No, it's not just Jason's screen. Everything, as soon as I alt tab, like before I could drop focus from the Discord screen, right? Because I obviously screen capture much of the scene here from Discord, including the communication bubbles on the bottom left. And before I could alt tab away from it, you know, I could kind of tab over to my video editor or to my browser, to the chat. You know, I could just go to a different window, leave Discord not minimized but just unfocused, and it would still capture the Discord window when it was unfocused. But now, like right now, when I go to a different window and I drop Discord focus, it turns gray. Everything freezes. I think it was an update maybe to Discord client itself. Somebody at Discord pushed an update that broke it. Now it doesn't stay active or rendering when you drop focus from it. I have no idea what's going on, guys. Let's have a look here. It's quarter after, so let me go prepare the DLive chest, guys. Let the screen go dark for a minute while I switch over to my DLive window here. How much credits do we have in the chest here? All right, I gotta start being frugal with the lemon giveaways because we are down to our final 1,000 lemons. I really wrecked the treasure chest. All right, so I'm gonna put 250 lemons in today's chest, guys. They just went in there, and I'm gonna open the chest in about a minute. Let's introduce the next request. Get ready for the DLive prompt coming your way in about a minute's time. In the meantime, next request comes from let's see here. Life Vibe H wants to look at Ren.
Ren and XTZ look the exact same. You're getting unnatural volume coming in. WADA likes it with a rising explosion level above the 13 EMA. Minx and time transformation both agree. You haven't got a higher high yet. I mean, like I said, these are the kind of ones that you got to make sure you have your TPs on the books. But this does look strong. Going into the weekend, I mean, I don't know how much faith I have in these, considering resistances that these are under, that they're just coming up to tap. But as for a daily signal, this is looking good as well. I gotta put it on my. I actually can't trade on Binance right now. Ren would be a good signal, but of the two, since they're the same, it's to me splitting the same risk. So I'd rather probably take XTZ here because that's the only one I can take. But it's a good signal, man. Hopefully, at least for a TP1 to get you some profit, and then if the market decides to tank from there, let it.
All right. Well, here we go. I am going to be deploying the chest any second now. Bear with me as I get this out the door. Here we go. Click and distribute. You guys ready? I'm about to click it. You got your heads up right now. I did warn you. 30 seconds for the lemon distribution. Go, 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 go. Let me go see if I can claim mine, and got to figure out a way to fix this Discord streaming issue. This sucks. Alright. Claiming the rewards. There we have it. Get into one of the last requests next, and we'll see what comes of it. 2 seconds left in the giveaway. Good luck to everybody. Not quite as generous as it has been in the past, but nonetheless, shoutouts to Franklin MC coming in first with 52 lemons. Crypto Jenny taking second place, and Alex 1233 number 3. Jason, you took the number 5 spot. PDD in number 4. Very, very cool. Alright, that's everybody's lemons distributed today. Friday installment kind of begins to wind down. What do we got left in terms of requests? Alright, you did, did you already talk about UBT? UBT, please, for Chico.
I just pulled a UBT up. I think UBT looks very weak, man. You're not even resting on any levels of support. Like, you'd figure that this would come down and at least tap some old resistance here. I think this has plenty more downside. I think that you can ride this trend all the way down. This looks really weak. I would not be interested in UBT at all here. Yep.
All right. Well, that wraps your thoughts up on
These are
UBT.
pretty easy. A lot of things look very similar, guys.
Final trades notes a bearish divergence on the daily Fisher on RSI as well on XTZ. All right, there is a bearish divergence indeed on Tezos on the daily. Here's a new request. All right, so we got one more request to add to the list, at least for now. Shoutouts to BT for Chico. We have Luna and Cardano for Anthony Cox of the YouTube chat.
It's actually a hidden bullish divergence, my friend, on XTZ. You're getting lower lows in your oscillator and higher highs. Or not higher highs, higher lows on price. As you can see, time transformation's actually calling this out here the whole way on these H. That stands for hidden divergence. And since it's on the bottom, it'll be bullish divergence. Just I don't use RSI though, so I think time transformation does a wonderful job. We got Luna up next.
If you just looked at Cardano, then indeed Luna is one of the next requests.
Finding them today. This is another one that's a full-blown signal. Luna, Tezos, and Ren all look very similar here. I don't know if this actually gets that higher high or not, but as of now, it would come up and wick up into there and likely get your first TP, which that's the whole point of trading. I don't know how far it breaks above that or whether it will break above that or not. But as for this system, this is a full long signal on Luna as well. Found 3 good ones so far. I think these look stronger than the other plays of DERO, AVAX, and LYXE.
All right. Is that? Yeah, I think that concludes your thoughts on.
Yeah, I mean, it looks bullish. I mean, I wouldn't fault you for taking a trade here up to that $43 range.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and continue. We got another request here. I'm still pulling my hair out trying to figure out why the screen keeps doing this when I unfocus. Who do I blame? Maybe I gotta update my GPU drivers. Maybe that's what it is. Albert Token 22 on Twitch writes, "Hey, what do you think about the VET chart? Is it too correlated to Bitcoin?" All right, so Albert.
I mean, I can see why you would ask why if it's too correlated to Bitcoin, because it looks terrible. I mean, everything's below. You're not breaking any trends. Seems like everything's being obeyed here. You're breaking back below on a sell-off. Nothing to do with it. It looks very weak. Oscillators are keeping you out of this right now. Other things look better. I wouldn't be trading it.
All right, well, there is a look at VET for our boy Albert Token 22 on Twitch. Is that the last request of the day? Let's go quickly check in on the live chat. Yep. Actually, hold on. We got one more here. Comes from Electric. He writes, "Quick oddball stock request. If you could please look at United Airlines, UAL. It might be a bit late. Airlines didn't dump it this week." All right. So 1 second before you start talking, Jason, I need to do something in the background, which is going to make your screen go gray. So just hold your thought for just another moment. And here we go. My God, I'm gonna have to fix this. I can't tell you guys how much grinding my gears. All right, Jason, I have you back on screen. Go ahead and tell us about United.
Well, taking a look at United Airlines, you would have got a signal 2 days ago. Everything that you're looking for, waters above, crossing zero, Minks given the long, and you would have already hit one TP. Actually, you would have came up and hit the second TP. This would have been a great trade. I think that you would be sitting pretty with TP3. You could probably take off and just move your stop loss to break even, but you might see some rejection here. You are coming up on some historical resistance, but it would have been a great trade. I think it's a little past gone for me. The weekly could start to give you some strength, but this is, with this break of trend and a break back above the 13 on the weekly, you could get further upside from American Airlines here. Probably all the way up to that $52 range, up to this past resistance. So I would be okay with taking American Airlines up to that $53 range. It looks good on the daily. Wish you could have caught it a little bit earlier, but as of now, it's still looking good, but you're coming up to resistance. Whether that resistance holds or not, I think you should have been in it earlier. I wouldn't enter it here myself. I think the opportunity has passed itself. I know Alex would probably say something different on the level that it could go up to, but I'm more conservative than Alex, and I think that the opportunity here is missed for my system. You could take it on the weekly if you do get a good signal, but you'd have to wait probably 2 more weeks before you can get that initial signal, and maybe that's the right thing to do, is wait, because if we get the breakdown, you're not going to want to be in it, because as a lot further it could go down.
All right. Well, there is your look at United Airlines. All right, here's what we're gonna do next. Mr. Ether Robert Warner, stretch it out a couple of minutes. I'm almost to my computer. All right, Mr. Ether wants to get in here and announce the prize. So we're gonna just let it ride a little longer, everybody. You have another request or two to hold us over. In the meantime, all right, waiting for Mr. Ether and gonna get into this next request. It comes from Adam over on YouTube. You guys think Tesla and Plug are still looking good? Market's so shaky, but the chart still looks good. All right, so a couple traditionals. Let's start with Tesla.
Tesla looks pretty damn good here. I can't quite do anything. I guess yesterday could have been construed as that, but I would take today as that initial signal. If you get that close above this resistance here, I think you can absolutely take this to the next level on 787. The continuation would be here today. this would be the way AVAX trades. For me, this would be an initial long, and I couldn't take it because WADA's not there. But this close back above here, I think, would be pretty bullish. That little wick right there, you wonder if it's a swing failure. But for all intents and purposes, this looks like it has the chance to break up further. And where this comes up to, I think that Tesla is likely to come up to here. That 815 range. So I like Tesla here. I do still like it. I think that it looks very strong, showing a lot of strength here. No broken trend on lower time frames. Clearly, you can see because of this, just not able to break. Probably a log chart, to be honest with you. Yep, it's a log. But Tesla looks good. I think it looks good to take up to this initial resistance up here to 815. I think that would be a good trade. Looks solid. And plug, I think, was the other one.
Yes, sir. Let's look at plug
I think
next.
this is the one that I talked about earlier in the week that did give a signal, good signal right here. And it does appear that that signal would have played out. So looking here, you got the long signal right here above the 13. Everything that you want, and then boom, popped up, hit TP1. Looks like hit TP2 as well. You'd be sitting with one take profit left and your stop loss at break even. Great trade. As for it continuing, I don't see the strength quite yet. I think the trade is kind of run its course. The weekly, you can wait for that break of trend, but I think that the opportunity to make some money on it has passed. In the sense of trading, but you could watch the weekly. If you get another trend break, this will come back up to $52 at some point. But whether that be now or you get that further breakdown, then I would think that you're likely to get that further breakdown first. The market seems super bearish.
All right, there's your look at Tesla and plug. Guess who just came through the door? Mr. Ether, you with us, bro?
I am here. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear, buddy. What's going on? Welcome aboard. Heard you got a cool $50 cryptocurrency giveaway.
I do, and I want to make it a little more interesting.
Oh,
not too much more, but everybody likes to win a little bit of something.
Hell yeah.
Do you think, Jack, that the chat can figure out in 10 seconds or less who the winner is? Do you think they will?
What do you mean?
He's got a winner in mind, and does anybody in the chat know who it is? Here's a hint. It's one of the regulars who drops good requests.
Yeah, but do you think they'll be able to guess who it was?
10 seconds, maybe. I don't know. It's a tough call.
I need a yes or no.
I think yes.
I think yes. They might figure it out. Only so many potentials as to who could be the winner for today. It's a regular who comes through, posts some regular requests.
I'm gonna say yes just because someone already did.
Okay, well the winner is Anyword with his DERO request from yesterday.
He likes it.
Big shout outs to DERO.
And whoever guessed DERO also wins $50.
Crypto bird.
Whoever guessed Anyword also wins.
Nobody guessed Anyword, but they did guess DERO.
Okay, either way.
That would be Crypto Bolt.
Crypto Bull,
okay.
Indeed.
He also wins $50. If one of you would have said no, then either you, Jason, or Jack would have won.
I like it this way.
God damn it! No.
Oh, I like it this way.
Well, that's if they had not guessed it. That's how I was making it more interesting.
Gotcha. Well,
I like it.
Mr. Ether, up the ante this Friday on the show. I love it. And a couple good winners in here. Crypto Bull won. Yes, Crypto Bull guessed right off the bat. I don't know how he came through. Trust me. He didn't have any insider information. He just had a good guess, I guess.
Interesting shelf of support here.
Even if he did, he was still smart enough to pay attention.
Word.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to
our lovely timestamper.
Shoutouts to Anyword and Crypto Bull. Be sure to hit up Mr. Ether, get your $50. Shoutouts to Mr. Ether, the Oprah Winfrey of cracking crypto giveaways.
Everybody gets humpback way.
Everybody gets a bit of the action. All right. So that was a look at the last two requests, plug and.
Do you want them to get a hold of you, Mr. Ether?
Yeah, we know who Crypto Bull is. I'm not sure who Anyword is on
Yeah, me neither.
Discord. It would be better to know his Discord user so I can DM him myself directly.
Yeah,
I
anywhere. Do us a
see him in
favor.
chat today, so we'll have to catch him maybe next week.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
Anywhere, you know where to find us. All right. Maybe one last request, Jason of the day, and then we'll get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
What do you think? All right, Daniel. Daniel asking. This is the last request of the day. Daniel asking, should I short XRP? How tantalizingly.
I'm just gonna
good
say
is
yes
XRP
before I
for
even click
short?
on it.
All right, 1 second. Let me put your screen back up, Jason, because right now I think you're the audience's view because.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. All right, you're on screen. Go ahead. Show us what you think about XRP in a short.
XRP looks exactly the same as the rest of the market, to be honest with you. As for my trading system, there's nothing that can really give you anything. If you did get the crossover on time transformation, AVAX would take that as a continuation short to the downside. I think that XRP is going to go down with the rest of everything else. So yeah, I think that the right position to be either be out of XRP or in a short position. Like I said yesterday, all this price action to the upside was the opportunity to either get out of some long positions or shorting opportunities, and we've seen that so far. So
yeah, you were sure right about that. That was the pump to short right back into.
I knew the China Club was coming. I got an email.
Okay. What crypto are you paying with? Asks Cavano Trades. What are you repping for the giveaway, Mr. Ether?
I would assume Mr. Ether's gonna pay an Ether. I don't know.
really, whatever they need it paid in. Doesn't matter, crypto, whatever.
Yeah, he hodls literally everything.
Mr. Ether is a man of many coins. I guess it could be winner's choice.
Didn't you drop a lot of those coins on that close below 41?
I did. I sold 90% of everything I was holding.
Well,
Wow.
I bet you're not regretting it.
No, clearly got enough
We'll
left
see.
over to give
We'll
away
see
away a few fucking prizes. Love it. Love it. Thank you everybody who kicked it with us
much
this week.
appreciated, Mystery. We gotta keep doing stuff like this, and I have to come out of someone else's pocket.
Indeed, Mr. Ether knows how to bring the hype. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you to the audience. Thank you everybody who made the show possible this week. The Friday installment of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update is pretty much over with. We got a wrap right here. But in the meantime, catch us in the Discord. Make sure you check out premium.com and cryptocurrency.com too. Check out all our premium offerings. Something there for everybody. Any aspiring traders, check out the Pathways to Profits course. Learn how to trade bit like the pros. Get ahead of this market before it gets to you. All right, what
I think
else?
we can safely say that anyone who's been paying attention to the show should have been in the right position for this.
Yeah, I think that's probably why our audience keeps coming back to us day after day.
Well, I hope go tell your friends, because it's hard enough to get people to watch.
No kidding. All right, much love to you all. We're out of here. Catch us in the Discord over the weekend. See you on Monday. Peace out, guys.
Yeah, just real quick, I wanted to go over just some things for the weekend. Just remember, the Friday close, usually the Monday open is real close to that level. This is one of the reasons why I use the CME to smooth the data for my hedging system. But take that into consideration before you try to get into a position over the weekend, letting price action dictate that, because we could be very volatile over the weekend, and it could end up being either a wash or more to the downside. So I would just be careful trading any kind of long positions, but we could get some volatility to the upside over the weekend and then just get sold back into right away. So I would not jump on any long opportunities. Again, I think any press to the upside is going to be an opportunity to get into a better short position or exit any positions that you might be underwater on. But other than that, just make sure you're trading safely, and see you on Monday.
There you have it. Mr. Ether, any final words from you? Still with us?
Be careful.
Be careful.
You heard it here. Peace out, guys. We'll see you on Monday.
See you on Monday. Goodbye.